Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today with is preseason basically. Another mini guide will be coming in the next few days, I assume. So if you're looking for a mini guide, subscribe to my channel. If you want to get more preseason shenanigans, also subscribe to my channel. It doesn't really help that I sound a little bit like I have a cold today, but that's just because I slept horribly, woke up, saw horrible patch notes, and actually had to read them. I don't know if they're horrible yet. It's about the preseason, so let's have a look what they actually do. Little video, I don't really care. Okay, there will be actually champion buffs slash nerfs. That's pretty good, I assume. Aatrox R duration decreased. Not always grants max heal if blood vials over 80% filled. Okay, so you heal more, but you have less time to like not to die or whatsoever. I think that's the point of it. Um, which is okay. Like I guess it's I don't know, goes down 2 seconds I think, and heals you a little bit more. I don't know if that's the changes that should have been made to Aatrox. I'm not an Aatrox person. I always felt like watching the Worlds, I felt like it was too overpowered playing in myself. I felt like I'm very bad at the game, so I can't really say much shit. What I can say much shit is this, what I see here already. I like that they say that they want to like help AP Israel. First of all, I think that's the total worst thing they could have done, how they did it. In my opinion, the only thing that stopped AP Ezreal from totally popping off was wave clear. That was with the old Ezreal as well as with the new one. Because you can't play AP Ezreal, like you can't play him in the mid lane really. Because first of all, against assassins you'll have a hard time. Against mages you'll have a hard time because they push you in. It's a little bit annoying. You still do a lot of damage in the late game. That's not the problem. The problem is that you can't kill the minions. And with even nerfing two-shot barrage, that it doesn't do that much damage to minions anymore. I mean, I guess they want to kind of make up for the fact that the damage isn't reduced anymore when you hit people. So you will actually be able to hit through everybody and do the same amount of damage, and that's insane for AP Israel. That's literally insane because your ultimate could decide a whole team fight. Your opponent's team groups are Baron. You have three item AP Israel. You hit all your ultimate on all five of those people. That's like a clean swipe. That's like a cleaning commercial wipe that you'll do there. Gladly, I think they kind of had to make up with that. I think it's so fair because they had to make up for the fact that your W isn't the same as the old one anymore, because with that one you could wipe whole teams as well. So I guess I don't know if the base damage had to be higher up, because I think that's kind of unnecessary because the normal Israel was already good, if not strong. Like I don't know, adding the ratio AP ratio to it sounds kind of fair to me. Still doesn't really help him laning phase. I'll try him out. Maybe make a little guide to him here. Maybe get some in-game footage as well, whatever you guys feel like. And we'll move on to Lissandra. She got a new passive. I guess it's better if you watch other videos on that one to see what the passive does. Like the stats have been changed. There's one bonus attack speed. Blah blah blah. That's interesting, but not really necessary. And I think whenever she kills someone or whatever, or I don't know if it's also when she dies. I don't know. Okay, when an enemy dies near Lissandra, they become a frozen thrall. So I guess that's those ghost things that then spread out and do AOE damage. I think with the crazy scaling and crazy base damage already. Does it say the base damage? Okay, at the start it's not that high, but it goes up to 520. 520. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's at level 18. I don't know how many games you'll have with level 18 these days, because I think with the other preseason changes, what we'll discover later is that the games might not take as long anymore. Mana cost down, obviously, because you don't have your passive anymore that gives you mana. Also, you want to get the damage down a little bit, which is kind of stupid because now on laning phase, you basically don't have a passive, because if you're playing 1 versus 1, then you don't really care if you kill the other person and then your passive procs, because then what, you're clearing minions with it? Is that your beneficial thing? I mean, it helps you to shove the minion wave under the turret, don't get me wrong, but it's not a passive then, it's literally just useless. So the laning phase is even more annoying, so she will be playing even more top lane now, because mid lane people are way more aggressive. Top lane she can just safely farm till she gets like 3 items and then actually in team fights can kill some people. I guess that's the goal. That's why they took down damage from her ultimate like scaling. The E seems to be faster now at the start, which I think is fair, because I felt like the E was already like, oh, you can escape, but you have to wait kind of a little bit, and then you look at champions like LeBlanc and you were like, oh, well. But I don't know, I think that kind of gave it counterplay. I don't know about now, maybe that will be a little bit strong. So Talia, Q cooldown cost, work ground durations decreased. So you can get work rounds more often from what I take that. Like, but the problem is now not only enemy champions, but everything takes 50% reduced damage from another stone. And I think that kills Jungle Talia. That's just what I'm saying right now, what I feel. I've played Jungle Talia like twice or whatever. But I thought that was a strong thing. That against champions, you do not that much damage anymore, but against minions, you did, so you could clear very fast. And since you can't do that anymore, but the working grounds are none of your concern because you can't do it again afterwards because you want to do it one camp anyway. And that just took so much clear speed from her right now, and I think there's not much to compensate from it. The cooldown, the costs go down, but that doesn't really matter at the early level. So her early game jungling will not be as good anymore. I think that is what I take from this right now. Scrolling further down, Yorick, bug fixes, whatever. He's probably bug mess like Mordekaiser anyway. And yeah, that's all I can say to it basically, because there's not much more that you can do with it actually. But well, let's just continue with the Dawn Shield. Passive regeneration are based on missing health, so the less health you have, the more life you'll regen if someone hits you. Guess that is good for some tanks, I assume, but I think it's capped at one point. Up to 30 health, it's not that much more that you would get anyway. It can be quite neat to stay alive, get some sustain when you're low, and like drag out the lane battles a little bit more, so there'll be more action because people will be like, oh yeah, but if my Dawn Shield kicks in now, I can maybe stay a little bit more, I don't have to go back, something like that. It's maybe easier if you are trying to like, top lane is always a lane where you struggle to get lasted if you're in a disadvantageous matchup, I think. And I think that's a thing. Gunzo's Rage Blade, I don't know, on hit flat damage decreased, ratio is removed, so you get with the stacks you now gain magic penetration and armor penetration, if I'm not mistaken, which will probably make it worse for a lot of champions, but I can't really say who and for who it would be a thing now. I don't know if that's still a thing for Kayle now, because she kind of like getting AD and AP, but someone who already does that with the rest of his item pool anyway will benefit from it. I think it's less of a thing for like tanks now, or whatever, people who don't really need it, and more of a thing for people who go damage already, but I could be totally wrong, and it's more of a tanky thing now. Don't want to see like tanky Master Yi the whole time, like kill me with just that item. I don't want to see that, but we'll see. But Master Yi, the good thing I think for Master Yi will not be as much of an option anymore, because he does not care about the armor penetration, because he does mainly do absolute damage as well, but maybe that will just increase his absolute damage ratio to 100% instead of like the 50% that is right now or whatever. So we'll see. Jungle items, yeah, now the funneling could be a thing again. I don't know if that's going to be a thing again. They say it won't be because of other changes that they made. I'm not quite sure. We'll see if that's not going to be a thing anymore. Relic Shield upgrades, sure, if the minions get more health, you want to be able to execute them as well. Guess that's fine. Kind of weird that they had to do it before they announced that the minions get more health, so it's a little bit confusing at the start, but I guess they say it enough. What trinkets, control inventory can't reduce. Okay, well, guess you can only take 2 control wards, but who else but the high elo player ever took 3 control wards? So let's be honest, the platinum below people do not really care about that change, I assume. Trinket scales with average level. Okay, the trinket was the thing that like the average level of all champs, it's okay, I guess, like whatever. And the warding totem at the end only lasts 120 seconds instead of like I think a full ward, which like the old full ward would be 180 seconds. So it wants you to switch it up at the mid game to like get the blue or the red one and not have those ones anymore. So like there's more, oh, you have to face check at one point, or oh, we can't get the vision up and then we'll walk into a trap or something. I think they want to end the game quicker, so people have to do a risky Baron, or people have to face check something and so on, so the game length goes down a little bit. I think that's what I take from a lot of those changes. For the turret plating, I think a lot of people have already said enough to it. I don't think it will be beneficial if I go over that one again, but seemingly you can kill some plates there, I think up to 5, I don't know how many it is. And for every plating that you kill, you get extra local gold, I think, just for you. And the next one will be harder to kill. So the first turret should be way harder to kill now. You'll not have that kind of scenario where you play against a Tryndamere, or basically nearly every champion these days. The top lane, you go home and then you see them making your whole turret in one run. But could be critical with the amount of money you actually get from the platings extra, so they actually screw you over the whole time. So I don't want that to happen, to be completely honest. To gain armor magic resistance at the game start, it's like the break, the bulwark, whatsoever, for 20 seconds after a player is destroyed. The turret also gains bulwark, granting additional... okay, so it's only for 20 seconds after, so it's not like everyone is harder to kill. I don't know, they fall off at minute... I think that's important, they fall off at minute 14. So that you won't get. You have to really work for it in the early game to get the extra goals. So junglers will be like drawn into that, like get this friggin' goal, the turret plating off, and so on. So we'll be talking about that. Outer turret health increased, obviously resistance removed because I think you have the plating now. I think that was the whole point of it. All turret AD scaling increased. I don't know if that's affecting last hitting now. I really hope not because I've got so accustomed to the normal way of last hitting. But first turret bonus reduced. Yeah, I guess you don't, with the turret plating, you don't get as much gold anymore for killing the first turret in the game. I hope that doesn't lead to like lane swapping, like the trading turrets in the competitive gameplay anymore, because I was so glad when that was not a thing anymore. I think that was the most boring kind of experience I've ever had when the games only started at minute 20, because then the turrets had been traded and everybody did stuff. It was really, really annoying. Has gone down a little bit, which, well, actually quite a lot to be fair, but I guess it's because of the plating. And the outer turrets, like health, AD scaling. Okay, like so it scales 9 per minute. Like every minute you do mad damage. I don't know how that will affect last. I'll have to do that in the game. I hope it does not affect it too much. I hope with the minion health scaling up a little bit faster and so on, they kind of fixed it so you don't have to get used to a new last hitting method, or it will totally screw them up. But I think they'll have that covered. I think they're not stupid enough to not think about that. So it's going to be different every time or whatever. That I don't want to. So every turret and Nexus turrets are getting more. We don't really care about that. Minions and monsters, minion health, AD and movement speed scaling increased. Can minions spawn faster early in the game? So what basically all that is the minions get better and better and better over a quicker rate than before. Like now at minute 25, I think already the cannon minions spawn and every wave, and before that was a minute 35 or 30 or something. So it is way quicker now, which is kind of good. Minions like damage to turret is changed and so on. Like damage to champion is changed. It's yeah, they just have more health in total, so I guess that makes up for the turret scaling more, doing more damage and stuff. I don't know how that will be in the game. I might make a little bit after like a few weeks of playing, might make another statement about if I like it, what was actually happening, how much does it affect the gameplay and so on. But Baron buff damage reduction, that's pretty good then. I guess they're trying to make it so you don't have to rely on Baron to finish a game anymore, which at this point is a big thing, at least in competitive play. And in a lot of other games, you have to have Baron to finish a game. I think the lower the elo is, the less that makes a point, because a lot of people don't really know how to actually utilize Baron, I think. So for a lot of people, that will not make a big difference. It will just be easier to finish games now as well, to snowball a little bit, because the minions get stronger. Like Canamans, yeah, every like at minute 15 already, they no, at minute 25 already, they spawn every wave, and they at 15 they always spawn every second wave. So that's okay, I guess. They want to make the games faster. That's fine. Super minions, base AD changes, all those minion changes, we'll not cover them in total, but we'll see how it goes. The epic monster respawn time. That's a thing where it's like, okay, they want to finish the game faster, because seemingly the drakes spawn like every 5 minutes, not every 6, so I have to get used to it. And Elder Dragon every 6 minutes now. It's ridiculous. I mean, Baron too, but Elder Dragon, that's quite a heavy thing to do. But I guess they want to finish the game, and they want you to also give you a chance to come back if you steal it and stuff. They already implemented the feature that it shows you when you steal it, and I think they want to make that a bigger thing. But also I think that could lead to like annoying snowballs. Like I know, for example, I played Smite a little bit, I feel like that game is very snowball heavy, and I hope League is not getting like that. If you like get punished for like a minor mistake that you make in the early game, or that your teammates make, it's already kind of annoying that when someone leaves the lane like 0-3, that you might have a hard time because you're playing bot lane and your impact at that point is not as high as you wanted it to be, even though you kind of crushed your lane. So you have to watch out for that one. Elemental Drakes, like the first spawn is later, okay, so they spawn at minute 5, not on 2:30. That is fine, I guess. Barely anybody could do that at 2:30, and I already felt it was kind of stupid, those champions who could instantly rush it, and you were always like, oh God, I have to like put so much into like them, stopping them from getting that very early dragon. So minute 5, everybody is somewhat ready to actually like contest it, so I think I like that one. But the buff strength is increased early. I don't know if I like that. That's also again pushing the early game. So if you lose a dragon early, you'll get even punished harder for it. So not sure if I'm a fan. The kill goal goes up, so even more early game kind of stuff. They all got better scalings at the start. If you have 3, then they'll all like be okay again, but the first one gives you more now, which I think could be problematic. I think they'll have to tune that down at one point again. But seemingly they want to adjust to the attention span of a Fortnite player, because who wants to have 45, 50-minute games if you can have 25-minute games? So I think that's the thing. Jungle camp experience, so you will get less experience along with the game processes because junglers had too much of an experience. If you were a good jungler, I think yet again that's just a little bit annoying for low elo junglers because they get just less experience without being efficient. But the high elo players were very efficient and had pretty good level, and they did not want that, so they're taking that down. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit more annoying now to be a low elo jungler, I assume. But what do I know? We have to see how that turns out. With the runes, something is coming in that's basically like the old runes where you could do your own stat kind of things, which I really liked. I like the combination of the old runes and the mastery is the best so far. I like the new runes, but uh, it sounded cool. Like you could adjust your champion to the matchup, but nobody did, or everybody always played the best kind of rune on the champion and nothing else. And there was the one or two best builds, and nobody actually varied about that one. Rune path bonus is removed, so you don't get your bonuses anymore. Of like if you go into the precision one, you don't get attack speed anymore, but you can actually go into 3 different rows to get your own one. The first row is like adaptive force, attack speed, or cooldown reduction. So if you're a tank, you either want to go for like if you're in the jungle, go for attack speed. If you're like a tank on the lane, maybe go for cooldown reduction and so on. Then armor magic resistance and armor magic resistance health. So I guess that's like, oh, if you're playing against a lot of an AD team, then take a lot of armor. If you're playing against a lot of AP team, then take magic resistance and so on. As I guess what you want to be doing. Then I think that's very good for tanks and not as good for like AD carries, for example, or mages. I think that can be quite problematic. I think I'll push tanks a tiny bit too much, but not too much. I think Fleet Footwork AP ratio decreased. I barely knew any mage that took that, so it doesn't really matter to me. Celerity, that's actually a big problem. You don't get adaptive damage anymore from your movement speed, and it doesn't give you normal movement speed. It just makes the movement speed you get a little better. It could be an option for Teemo now, I don't know. But even then, without the adaptive force, I don't know. At least it doesn't benefit Hecarim anymore, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I'm not even sure if he took that, so can't really judge. Dark Harvest now is a total different rune. Like you don't get it from minions anymore seemingly, but you only get it from champions, and it doesn't. You don't have to have collected a soul recently to proc it, but it only procs on like champions that are low life or something. So like not one blow will like instantly blow up the person and like decide the whole fight. I think they want to be doing it like that. So I don't know for who it will be a good mastery. I think it would be more of a lane mastery then, not of a jungle one, if monsters and stuff don't drop it anymore, I assume. A Ravenous Hunter decreased sad. I like the heal builds. I experimented with that quite a lot lately. Being able to heal yourself a lot, take all the heal runes that you have, especially on champs like Mordekaiser maybe and stuff like that. Because the domination tree gave you 2 options for healing. I really enjoyed that there. But what can you say? Demolish. I think that wants to go against the science strat a little bit. You do less damage now, but you can proc it a little bit more often. But that was not what the Sign guy was doing. So I guess that should be a little bit against Inting Sign for everybody who hates it really much. I've barely encountered it, so I'm somewhat okay with it, but I think it could be a problematic thing. New rune, Shield Bash. While you're shielded, you gain a little bit of bonus magic and magic resistance and armor, which is not that much, but I guess that's fine given the shield supporters and stuff. Maybe like the people who have a shield support like AD carries, you could take that, maybe give them a little bit of a boost to actually like an incentive to play a heal and shield supporter maybe. Whenever you gain a shield, your next basic attacks against enemy champion within 2 seconds of the shield expiring deals bonus adaptive damage. Yeah, could help then. The damage is actually quite okay. Like getting extra damage of the shield strength could be a good thing for Janna, for example, to play a little bit more or play with her. Yeah, could be nice, could be not nice. We'll see. Bone plating gets a little bit nerfed. Well, you get less damage instantly, but it doesn't take that long anymore. So it's more for the instant impact. It's probably good against assassins then, I guess, and not like just a classic standard thing to take in the bot lane AD carry or something. But not really sure how that will turn out. Chrysalis, they say it's unnecessary now because you can do that over your new rune stats things now. Kind of I'm sad because I like that with the tanky builds on champions that you could then turn into damage at one point, but had somewhat of a safer early game. Like for example, I like building it on Teemo because you actually could survive the early game than the ganks because you're a pretty big target. I'm talking about Teemo too much, I already realized that. I should really stop. But he's just so cool. He has so much potential, right? Never mind. Going actually back to the runes, Overgrowth. The stacks now grant flat health rather than percent health at 120 minions. The monster's death gain a percent health bonus. So you'll get the feeling that it actually does more now, I assume. Like, it's a little bit better now, probably for lower champions that don't have to be tanks. You can take that as a non-tank now as well, I guess. That might be the new option instead of Chrysalis then. I assume the third row was always a little bit weak, I felt, so that maybe given it a little bit of a boost. Claptomancy now works for 2 basic attacks after using an ability. I don't know, not sure if that just means like you can proc it with the next 2 or if you can proc it twice. I think how it looks like you can proc it twice, which is crazy, so you can get 5 gold basically. Isn't that crazy for Lucian, for example? Isn't that a thing for Lucian now with his double auto attack? Always like dash onto them, double auto attack them, and get 2 Klepto procs. I don't know. I mean, it was kind of nerfed on range people, I think, but there might be a lot of things. Of Fiora, I think that might be better because you can now Q, proc it with the Q, I think, and then instantly E or something with the auto attack reset and get it off. So could be quite neat too. I assume maybe Laui, but I don't think it will change much for it. I mean, you can get more gold of it now as a Laui because the clone can proc it and the clone isn't moving, so that's fine. The kill bounties increase at 4 plus kills. Okay, fair enough. They don't want you to, if you snowball and you get shut down, they want you to be able to come back, I think. That's what they want to do. I mean, monster gold advantage now factor into bounties. That could be a hard thing. Like, I don't know, they really want you to, I don't know, either stomp or being able to come back. It's really hard. Bounties on the losing team reduced. I don't know. How good that will be. I'll have to test that one. The bounty just goes up for like if you kill someone who has 4 kills, if you kill someone who has 5 kills, that's like 50 gold or 100 gold more. Can be quite neat, but it's not as good. But let's read into the minion monster gold bounties. Okay, by the farm. If since the last death a champion has carried 50 or more gold from minions and monsters than the enemy team's average during that time, the bounty increases by 50 gold. So if you are very good at last hitting, or if you farm a lot and somebody kills you, they actually gain a bounty for that. That's interesting. I don't know with the game design how they will do it with like the how that will work as a mechanic, but I think that's interesting because that will make champions like Shyvana at Master Chief maybe a little bit worse, that just stay in the jungle the whole time, R000, don't do anything, but have like 200 minions after like 18 minutes, and actually like will give you then a little bit more gold if you shut them down, even though they don't have a shutdown because they basically didn't do anything the whole game. Could be kind of neat. Also kind of punishes people who are good at last hitting. So I don't I don't quite know if that's the intention there, but I guess not. I think that's okay. Bounty clarity, hitless bounties over 150 gold are now visible and okay, whatever. That's pretty good. I guess you can see what you're getting. That is not that bad. Bounty payout modification, I don't really care at that point. Minimum kill gold. Okay, so you get more gold now, like the minimum gold for a kill. So I think you can't int anymore. I think that's another thing against inting sign. Oh, it was always like, oh yeah, if I die like 7 times without getting like a kill assist, whatever, then I'm fine. Then I don't give the opponents any gold anymore. And I think now that you always give 100 gold makes an incentive to first of all camp lane harder. Like you get rewarded if you camp someone and it destroys someone's life completely. Just not want to go back to Teemo, but poor Teemo players, right? Actually, gives them a reason to be camped now. That's kind of sad, but I guess that's fair. I always felt like it was kind of stupid that someone who basically did do nothing the whole game, was just dying all the time, could still like do that without the opponents being worth to kill him, especially if it was a late game champion. And at one point, you had to still kill him because it was a threat if you had 3 or 4 items, but you don't get anything for him anymore because it isn't worth any gold. I always felt that was kind of unfair. Summoner spells teleport, sorry, I'm not happy with that. I know that not a lot of people in low elo, again, it's like a pretty high elo punch at times, would use teleport to scare people away, to say, oh, I'm teleporting there, but then cancel it. But I think it's really problematic if you actually misclick, first of all. Like, you will be punished twice for misclick. Not only will you have cooldown, like complete cooldown, and also you will have to teleport to the point where you click to. It's kind of double punishment there. Plus, I think it's a little bit too hard. Like, some people make misjudgments. You get punished so hard for misjudgment, not only with the with teleporting and then dying, but also with the cooldown. I feel like if you die 10 seconds after using the teleport, I think you should have gotten like refunded half of the cooldown or something. That would be fine to me. That would make more sense. The channel duration, yeah. Now, I guess now people can. I don't know if it can't longer be cancelled. Does that mean it can't be cancelled by your opponents as well, or just not by you? I think just not by you. Otherwise, it would be kind of overpowered. But I'll have to see what that means. It's Mm. I think it's only by yourself. Like, I think that's what they want to do. I don't know if you can't cancel them by CC anymore, but I think it will be. I can just do a SOAS teleport out now if you want to, again, because of the zero point 0.5 seconds. I don't know if that makes much of a difference. But it's a nerf to teleport, in my opinion. What can I say? They have not given any positive sides for not being able to cancel it anymore, in my opinion, so I don't really like it. Ranked armor, the first elements of ranked are arriving. Like, it's a new way to show off your current rank. It's just literally just like for your own ego. Like that's all it is. It's not really helping game lobbies, missions. Okay, I think we're done with the patch notes. I don't care about the skins or whatever. You guess you don't care either if you're watching that video. I hope you had a good time. Subscribe to my channel, like it for more preseason shenanigans if you liked the video, and I hope you have a good day.